You want to say anything about Malakai Black's match otherwise than it happened?
No, not really. To me, the match wasn't the important thing here. It was the post-match, which gave bad memories of WCW to some people.
Yeah, and this is one of the things I mentioned earlier. I'm trending right now because their television program was rotten. And this is when I got up this morning, because the show was last night. I said, I can't watch this live. I don't have the energy. Or like I did the last couple of weeks where I'd, wait till 8:30 and pick it up where I could zip through some commercials and shit. If I'd have done that last night, I'd have been highly upset. Because, when I got up and saw Twitter, this was one of the things that people were citing is, oh my God, look at this. The flashbacks, the imagery of what did they say? The overbookedness of the demise of WCW and Malakai Black kicks Kyle O'Reilly in the head and beats him 1, 2, 3. And then suddenly the lights go off. And now the whole ring is bathed in red light. And then the lights come back on regular. And then red slime from fire hoses that appeared from the ceiling shot down on Malakai Black hard enough to give him brain damage.
Shot
and he
down.
Took a bump.
Oh.
What did they have that shit in? It was and I know people, no, listen to me. I know people are going to say, well, it's a thing, the Brood, right? Edge and Gangrel and Christian, the red lights, the vampire thing and the blood, but it looked more like what they would fucking do in WCW when blood just started, or slime, different colors of things started dropping from the ceiling. And sometimes the guy'd be standing there and it would drop like 5 feet to the right of him. And he'd just turn and look, what the fuck? Because they wouldn't measure it right or whatever.
I half expect to find out that Malakai got hurt from the blood hitting him. It hit him with such force.
I don't know what the fuck. Because it looked almost like they was coming up out of the mat from fountains. That's how tubular the liquid still was. But it had to knock the teetotal shit out of him. And so then they get a shot from one of the handheld ringside cameras of Malakai Black all drenched and down in this blood or this slime or whatever. And the screen comes on and you see it's going to be somebody's feet. And it's going to reveal who it is. And it's just a random cameraman on the other side of the ring walked right into the shot they had and covered the fucking screen up. God damn. They switched off that real quick. Like, what the fuck? And it looked like they were trying to play fucking shadow puppets on Edge's goddamn video. And it was Edge on the screen telling Malakai Black to be careful what he wishes for, because elsewise we'll apparently shoot you with this goddamn liquid hard enough to give you brain damage if you wish for the wrong thing again. But with this and some of the other things that's going to happen later on, people were saying, what in the world? The overbooked, incoherent mess that was the dying days of WCW and shit falling literally from the ceiling. And they're doing it. Is this the end of times?
No, that'll be the media rights renewal. Times are still happening, but man, I went back and watched it a second time because the blood came down so powerful. I'm like, it almost knocked him out, you would think.
Yes.
What if he swallowed some of that shit?
God damn, if he'd have been like a turkey in a thunderstorm, he'd have looked up and drowned.
And by the way, we brought it up before just about violence at these shows. You heard the commentator say, oh, it's on me. If you buy a ringside ticket for a wrestling show, you're not signing up for that. This isn't a Gallagher concert.
And again, in the past, it's looked like somebody's turned like a bucket of paint over up in the top, or whatever. But this was a fucking projectile hose type of apparatus, had to be. And it had to splash These people are less than 20 feet from the ring. It had to go somewhere. What's the dry cleaning bill going to? Well, do any of these people have their clothes dry cleaned? Only the announcers, probably.